Right, all praise unto you, Abba Shimmy outside, double honesty, apostles of GMS. Honestly, brothers, that be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Alright, we're gonna get into some scriptures, man. Alright, but you're seeing it, alright, throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, you're seeing the Most High preparing the return of his son, Yahweh, okay, through the various prophecies that he set forth from the foundations of the earth. Alright, you had certain prophets that they were there from the foundations, man. Alright. From generation to generation, rather more, and they were speaking about the same thing. And that thing was that when the Lord was going to come back, certain things was going to happen. All right, now, notwithstanding, they had prophecies for them days. You take the man Jeremiah, for instance, he had prophecies about Babylon and how Babylon was going to be destroyed or whatnot. Okay, but he also had prophecies that were pertaining to what? The modern day Babylon, which we know through the scriptures to be America. That's written about within the book of Revelations, the 17th chapter. Okay, and when you go into them scriptures, man, if you got an ear to hear and eyes to understand, you perceive that what it's going to be talking about is the modern day Babylon, the land of confusion is America, man. So we out here, you know, me, all right, you know, out here basically to preach the downfall of this society, man. And ultimately, that's going to come about with the uplifting, the raising up of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. So I'm gonna start off in the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, all right, and the first verse. Okay, this is Jeremiah 28:1. It says, not the first verse. I'll go straight to the point. The 8th verse. In fact, I'll read from the top. Okay, this is Jeremiah 28:1. It says, and it came to pass that in the same year, right, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judah, in the 4th year, that in the 5th month, that Hananiah, the son of Azur, the prophet, Hananiah, the son of Azur, the prophet, which was of Gibeon, spake in the house of the Lord, in the presence of the priests and all the people, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, right, the Most High of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon, and within 2 full years I'll bring again this place and all the vessels that are of the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon that took away from this place and carried them away into Babylon. So a lot of history is really embedded in that. And what you had was a situation after the Assyrians were taken down, the Babylonians came into play, okay, under Nebuchadnezzar and then his son, which was what, Nebuchadnezzar and all of that, man. All right, and then after that, you had it to where, you know, the vessels were taken, you know, the vessels of the Lord were taken out away into Babylon. You can read about the story within the book of Daniel and that. All right. Now, what you had here was a situation where you had a false prophet. Okay. Now, why did I bring that specific precept out? All right, and not going straight to the point, which is in the 8th verse, where the scripture talks about how you had, you know, in the past, you had it to where the prophets that were in the past, they spoke about evil times, man. We go into the word evil, it means bad times, man. Okay, pestilences, the scripture talks about pestilences. Okay, earthquakes, the scriptures talk about all kind of earthquakes and pestilences. Matter of fact, the book of Mark, the 13th chapter, okay, Mark, the 13th chapter, I do it in John. This is Mark the 13th chapter and the 3rd verse, the 4th verse, and this was the men of the Lord speaking unto Yahweh. They said, tell us, when shall these things be? Okay, so when is the pestilences going to be coming to pass, man? Okay, because they understood that when the pestilences was going to come to pass, okay, when you was going to have earthquakes and all kind of destruction coming about on this place, they understood, they perceived within their spirit that Yahweh was going to return and he's going to reestablish them. Matter of fact, one of the prophets, I believe, he asked the Lord, he said, when are you going to return, when will thou restore Judea? Pretty much roughly paraphrasing, meaning to say that there was a time when Judah and Jerusalem, right, the whole 12 tribes of Israel, they was on the pinnacle of hierarchy, social status, if you will, man. They was on the top. That was on the top of the world, if you can understand. It was living good, okay. But by a period of by a process of wickedness, okay, they was brought down to the level of being in derision underneath Esau, man. Okay, so they understood that, and when they had the Romans, they was basically being prosecuted underneath the Romans. Now, let's not get it confused, because really the Lord, when he was on the scene, he even prophesied of Rome, basically even persecuting them even more, okay, to the end that they was going to be fully dispersed, okay, and then, you know, the scriptures could be fulfilled in that it was said that we was going to be amidst these nations as a vessel wherein there is no pleasure, man. All right, but getting back onto the point, Mark the 13th chapter, the 5th verse, and Yahweh answering them began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you. So you're supposed to take heed lest any man deceive you. Now that links back onto what? The first precept I pulled out within Jeremiah the 28th chapter, because you had that particular prophet, Hananiah namely, okay, and he was speaking all kind of pleasantries and so on and so forth. Does not the scripture say, speak unto us smooth things, okay? That's what the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans want to hear, man. They want to hear smooth things. You're going to prosper within this society, okay? When Esau comes down heavy on you, actually ain't going to be that heavy, man. You're just going to have a smooth transition, okay? Right up into the kingdom of Yahweh Shemi outside. And we're going to see that within the scriptures, that's not incorrect. That's an incorrect, and that's a false perception of what this thing's going to be. The scripture talks about Jacob's trouble, man. Okay? It talks about the time of Jacob's trouble, all right? But the Messiah specifically says, but he shall be saved out of it. In fact, when you go into, what is it? Second Ezra, it says something to the effect of, but the just shall live. It was it Second Ezra? I can't quite remember, but it says the just shall live by faith. Now, why is the just going to live by faith? Okay, because they weren't going to have nothing tangible. Right now, what IUIC and all the different camps and other individuals, and you go into the world in these different religions, they all have one thing in common, man. They have that worldly prosperity doctrine. Okay, and that's really how them different pastors and preachers and prophets make money off of these people, because they're really the ones that are living good by teaching you that you can live good. Okay, so you pay them the tithes and you buy, like IUIC, you buy the scarves and the t-shirts, okay, and the water bottle, the IUIC water bottle and pens and so on and so forth. You're making that main leader, the main dude, all kind of wealthy, right, in the hope that you become as wealthy as he is, man. That's why the scripture says, speak unto us smooth thing, because they really want to aspire to the level that Nate's at. They want to aspire to the level that Creflo Dollar's at, man. Okay, creep low for $1, man. Okay, so Mark the 13th chapter, it says, and then Yahushua then began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you, for many shall come in my name saying, I am Christ, and he shall deceive many. So you was going to have it to where a whole host of individuals were going to come and say, look, I am the Messiah, and so on and so forth, man. Or this is the Messiah. Okay, but the scripture talks about how the Lord comes in the volume of the book. So in deciphering what the scripture says, you can identify what name that individual is coming in. Okay, whether it's coming of the Christ of the scriptures, because the scripture says there's going to be many. Okay, so how is you going to identify, okay, that's not of the scriptures, that's not of the scriptures, but that's of the scriptures. By the scriptures themselves, man. Does not the scriptures say, try them by the Spirit? Okay, and that Spirit was what within the scriptures. John 6:63, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life, man. Okay, let's get back onto Mark the 13th chapter. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars, so we're hearing of wars, man. Okay, we're hearing of America right on Russia's doorsteps. You're hearing about the Iranians. The Iranians basically are like they're looking down on East, so they're looking down on the Americans, and they're basically saying, look, they ain't nothing anymore, man. Okay, because you had it to where you had a situation out there. I forget what sea it was, but you had a situation out there, and what they were saying, what the Iranians were basically doing, they were so-called doing illegal maneuvers or whatever against the American battleships and whatever, or whatever the situation was. Meaning to say that the fear, okay, right, that Babylon had over all of these different nations, and that's being brought down to a law. You got the thing instilled in Syria, okay, with the Assad regime, and they've been trying to take us out for the longest, okay, and that's still continuing, okay. And you got the all kind of different, war-like situations happening out there. Because why? Because the Messiah said, when you shall hear of these different wars, and he goes on to say, and rumors of wars, all right, be ye, it's Brother Moore says, be ye not troubled, Brother Moore, for such things must needs be, but the end is not yet. So you're just gonna hear rumors of war, or this nation's gonna go to, about to go to war, and that whole North Korea thing, that's just a blind sight, man. That's all a setup, man. Because that guy in North Korea ain't doing nothing, man. Okay, that's all been set up to what? To blind the public from the major events that are taking place. It's no coincidence that it's happening at the exact same time, okay, that the Americans are moving ever closer and more strategically, right, against who? Against Russia, man. Okay, and what they're going to do when Russia retaliates, they're going to frame Russia as the bad guy, man. Okay? Now let's get back into the scriptures. It says, when you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and they shall be earthquakes in divers places, and famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows, man. So that's what the prophets, that's the spirit, the real prophets were coming in. They were saying, look, take heed, okay, build up your faith, man, build up that foundation in Yahweh Shemi outside, okay, so that when these things do come to pass, You're gonna be level-headed. In fact, Yahweh said it best, man. Okay, he said it best. He basically likened unto the Israelite man, okay, the elect, unto a man that built his house upon a rock, man. Okay, and when the hell came, right, which is the time of Jacob's trouble ultimately. But I mean, you go for your day-to-day hell and so on and so forth. The scripture talks about how the 2/3 is going to be brought through the fire, but also the 1/3 is going to be literally brought out of the fire, man. But the 2/3 is going to be destroyed by the fire, okay? And that comes by the fire of adversity, okay? But ultimately, that's going to manifest itself as those ICBM nuclear missiles that the Most High is going to hit up on this place, man, okay? That's what the Most High is going to become. That's the spirit is going to be. The Lord is going to become in it, man. Okay, He's going to be coming in the spirit of fire. And you got these, these the banana flunkies behind me. They ain't going to tell you that, man. They ain't going to tell you that, man. Okay, because why? Because they're coming in the spirit of the Christ of this world, man. Okay, and the Christ of this world allows you to do everything. That goes to show you that they ain't the Messiah of the scriptures, man. Okay, he ain't the Yahweh of the scriptures, man. Okay, let's get back onto the point in the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, and now I'm gonna go straight to the point. And this is Jeremiah speaking, and this is our spirit, man. This is how we feel about guys like Nate, guys like Johanna, all right, and then just right down to your modern day, everyday pastor or preacher, man, because they speak about this prosperity doctrine with no understanding of the scriptures, but only the understanding of how to manipulate basic human psychology in selling them an image. Okay, and that image more times is themselves. They come in with the nice cars, driving the nice cars, they live in a nice house, right? But dudes don't put 2 and 2 together. They only have that stuff because you give them the money to have that stuff. Okay? Nate's wealth only comes from him having power over these individuals because he has wealth. That's how he perpetuates his control over these masses, because they aspire to be like him. Okay? Let's get back within the scriptures, Jeremiah 28:8, and it says, the prophets that have been before me, all right, prophesied of old. So he was saying, look, the dudes that stood in my stead before, which when you go into the book of Corinthians, the scripture talks about the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets, meaning today it was going to come, you're going to come back in the same lot. So you got the scoffers, they're going to come back in the lot of the scoffers. You got the prophets, they're going to come back into the lot of being the prophets, man. Okay, you got the 2/3, they're going to come back in that lot, man. All right, because when you go back right into the foundations of the earth, when the earth was incepted, man, okay, you had the first fruits that were building the earth with Yahweh, okay, and they're going to be the first fruits to sit upon them thrones, man. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the scriptures. Here's the beautiful thing, man. And that's what, here goes to show you that you need reincarnation, because why? Because the Most High made a promise. He said in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, for I will yet have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Okay, so that encompasses the whole of Israel, the 2/3, okay, the 1/3, the elect, all that, man. So how they gonna come back on the other side if they're gonna be destroyed by way of those ICBM nuclear missiles? They're gonna come back as newborn babies, man, by way of reincarnation, regeneration, the same thing, man. All right, Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against both many kingdoms, furthermore many countries, okay, and many great kingdoms. So he was talking about the Assyrians. He was talking about a whole heap and a whole host of different prophets that they only did prophesy. Not only did they prophesy against the society that they were living in, but they also prophesied about the societies that was going to come in the future, man. Okay, America, right, which is the Babylon, which is written about within the Revelations. They prophesied against the Romans that when they were in power, because their kingdom ultimately went down, man. Okay. All right, and ultimately it comes down to what? It comes down to us being coming into power, man. That's what it was talking about. Okay, so it says the prophets that have been before me, prophets of old, prophets against many countries and against great kingdoms of evils and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, so the individual that come along and says, look, don't worry about that. Don't worry about what's happening out there in the Middle East. Don't worry about what's happening out there within your own individual life. Just give me this money, okay, and you're going to be all right. Just pay your tithes, okay, pay your donations, and you're going to be all right. The individuals that speak about that kind of peace, man, the Most High ain't dealing with them, man. Okay, the Most High ain't dealing with them. And it says here within the scriptures, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. And most individuals, most of the time, really, people don't really be understanding what these individuals are saying. And more times they ain't even prophesying, man. They just speaking all kind of blabber. Okay, family matters and so on and so forth. to the end of what? To the end of making money, man. Okay, turning the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushai into a means of merchandise, man. Okay, they use that as a means of making money, man. Okay, all right, but the Most High ain't dealing with them individuals, and for so doing, all right, the Most High is gonna destroy them. Okay, so let me get right the next. Oh man. Right, so let me get the precepts that I had prepared on the way over. I'll be ready. I done fucked up the password. So let me just read that precept again within the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, and the 8th verse, and I'll get into the, you know, the topical of the lesson, man. Okay, so it says Jeremiah 28 and 8. Okay. The prophets that are prophesied before me and before thee of old, both prophesy against many countries and great kingdoms of wars and of evils and of pestilence. So that's what's coming to this society, man. All right. Now let's get into what I have prepared. Okay, and I'm gonna start off right in the book of Matthew, the 9th chapter and the 13th verse. Okay, so it's gonna be Matthew, okay, 9 and 13, all right, and then, you know, I'll jump around a little bit as I go. So Matthew 9 and 13, okay. So where's the precept I wanted? Matthew 9 and 13. Okay, I'll start from the 10th verse, and it says, and it came to pass, right, that as Yahweh sat at the meat, so he was about to get some food and some grub and whatever, all right, and everybody was there, okay, and it says, in the house, right, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples, and the Pharisees saw it, and they said unto his disciple, why eateth your master with the publicans and the sinner? It says, and Yahweh heard that, and he said unto them, the whole need not the physician. And then that goes to show you how basically Yahweh was cutting them, man. Okay, he was cutting them. Here it is. They're in persecution underneath the Romans. Okay, they're really trying to look for the Messiah to come back and restore them onto their old estate. Okay, like it says here in the book of let me go to Amos the 9th chapter. Okay, I'll start from the 8th verse because that's a good precept too. So it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. So all of you wickedness that you're seeing happening all over this place, dudes coming out here, you know, with their boys, women or something, committing adultery. You know, you're going to where people are eating all kind of abominable, more specifically the Israelites eating, right, abominable foods. Okay, wickedness being uplifted. Okay, you got this whole effeminate agenda that's being perpetuated by Esau. Okay, all of that. The Most High is recording all of that, man. And more specifically, the offenses that come by way of these different individuals when they speak against the men of the Lord, man. Okay, let's go to Psalms, the 19th chapter, right quick, just to get a precept on them. Is it Proverbs the 19th chapter, rather more? Okay, just pertaining to them scoffers, man. Because look, man, all of them scoffers, they're gonna be smitten, and then, you know, you got some individuals that listen to like a guy like Baloo. The Most High is gonna jack that dude up, and you got some guys that'll listen to him, and they're gonna realize within their head, look, hold on a minute. Obviously, this guy's got destroyed, and he's been speaking against the men of the Lord. This goes to prove that it's the men of the Lord, man. Okay, and that's why the scripture says here in the book of Proverbs, the 19th chapter. I'm gonna start at the. Yeah, I'll go straight to the point. It says, smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand. So when a scorner is smit, man, and you got all kind of scorners and scoffers on the comment board, okay, in person, talking all kind of madness against the men of the Lord. When it happens to where those scoffers and scorners, really I can't find an example that comes to mind of the scriptures. But when that happens, man, okay, not only is the name of the Lord magnified, his word is magnified, and the man of the Lord is magnified in the eyes of these people, so where people are going to take heed to the truth, man. Okay, because they're going to fear the judgment that has befallen the scorner, man. Okay, so back in the book of Obadiah, and furthermore, Amos, the 9th chapter, and the 8th verse, it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off of the face of the earth. So when all of these wicked people are destroyed, man, Okay, because the Lord does say He's long suffering, but He's recording all of this wicked. And He says, although judgment doesn't seem to come fast from the Most High, it's surely gonna come, man. So Esau's out here being all proud, like the scripture says in the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, how they have taken crafty counsel against the anointed of the Most High, and how Esau basically takes a great joy, the joy of the hypocrite, man. Right? Because he is a hypocrite. He is the ultimate hypocrite, man. Okay? Because he'll say, oh, look at how wicked these people are, and he's the one that set up the damn wickedness, man. Okay, but getting back onto the point, you got all of that happening within the world, where the Most High's judgment is going to come upon them, and guess what? The people that remain, they're going to fall into light, man. Okay? So it says here, back in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, all right? From off the face of the earth, saving utterly, I will not destroy the house of Jacob. So the Most High said, look, all of these people, all of these wicked, all of these heathens, all of their establishments, I'm gonna wipe it from the face of the earth. But I ain't gonna destroy Jacob. But we need to get deeper into that. What does that really mean? That means to say the elect. Okay, because when you go to the book of Romans, the 11th chapter and the 7th verse, what then Israel have not obtained that which is seeking for, but the election hath obtained. What do they seek for? They seek for ultimately salvation, man. Okay, salvation from what? From the derision, right? The deprived state that they're in, from the curses, man. I'm gonna get into those curses in a second. Okay, they want salvation from that, and they're going about to seek it from every which way, right? Other than that of the scriptures, man. Okay, because when they get into the scriptures, man, that's where the salvation is into. Now, I'm not talking about like the scripture does say there's gonna come many Christ, man. The scripture does talk about different doctrines, man. Okay, right? The pollution of the scriptures, man. The scriptures do talk about that. Okay, now how was you gonna know that this truth was coming in this period when those prophets was gonna come to pass, when the word of those prophets was gonna come to pass? You was gonna know, just like how you got it to where the elders, when they was pushing that word out. Okay, how you was gonna have the situation with Russia, Iran, and America from 2008. Well, hey, that's manifesting before everybody's eyes right now. But you still got them scoffers and the scorners. They're so hard-headed. When you go to the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, around